Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Pathetic Podcast. I'm Christian, and I'm joined as always by the most beautiful person on the face of the planet, the meme lord himself, the young @ScentedGladbag on Twitter.com, Patrick.
First of all, I really miss being introduced beautifully. Second of all, never call me a meme lord. Never call me a meme lord.
Meme god?
Meme, no, nothing with meme in it.
You're the meme.
Dude, Anyway, what the fuck's up, YouTube? I would like to say that, again, it's me, @ScentedGladbag on Twitter.com. And before you say unscentedgladbag or unfollow me, first of all, follow me. And second of all, I don't want anybody to talk to me until their Twitter has been plugged and discussed in a city council meeting. Yes, that's right. I'm a part of the local government.
That is true. You are now a part of the local government. But unscentedgladbag is actually your cancellation hashtag. So it's not like a scented gladbag is over party hashtag. It's hashtag unscented gladbag. So please, everybody who is watching or listening, understand that from now on, every post that you make that incorporates Pat's Twitter needs to have hashtag unscented gladbag, because the man is canceled.
Christian came up with that hashtag because a lot of times I know whenever I'm sending things and I'm firing these tweets up onto the internet that he is reading them and just disappointed at some point. And there was one where I just said some stupid shit and he replied with, "Please stop this monster," or something. Yeah. And then he said hashtag unscented gladbag.
Stop this beast. I just realized now that I'm wearing a green shirt, fingers crossed that it doesn't pick up.
Dude, I hope that whatever's in the background.
Everything that's going to be on the green screen is going to be on my shirt. Fingers crossed for that.
Oh, I'm wearing an Epic Gamer headset because I broke my good headphones. So
I love when you wear the gamer headset though, because I'm fucking with the mic too much. Anytime that you wear the gamer headset, like the green always goes away.
There's one mysterious little part that, like, when I'll turn my head and shit, you're like, why is there like a little thingy that's...
It's like the same exact shade of green as the fucking green screen too. That makes it perfect. But anyway, we're back for now. We'll see how frequently we post, but it's been a minute. It's been like a month, I guess, since we last posted.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and we've both been working on projects and stuff, but in the meantime, we have done another episode of Jimbo's Paradise about a week ago. I'm sure that'll be out in like a month or something, but
well, he's gonna release it, I think, this month, right? It should come out. We're recording on February 15th, so it should come out this month, I think, because part of it is talking about Jimbo's Live, which will be March 14th.
Yeah, I believe so, and we can double check that. I guess we can put a link to that page in the description. But
yep.
I will be, I guess for legal reasons, I'll be giving hot sauce as a gift for an exchange of a donation, because your boy is selling hot sauces that I made. Some are my Peppies, some are Peppies I had to outsource throughout the country, but
yeah, it's gonna have Pat's Peppies there. But yeah, it's March 14th. I think it's he said it's $8 to get in, but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be there recording a video for it, and lots of goofs and gaffs. Anybody who wants to be involved in the goofs and gaffs can be involved in the goofs and gaffs. Just come up to us and say, "Hey, I want to be in the video," and we'll make a bit with you in it.
And God, there was something. Oh, I was all sorry. I'm in this chair and it's very low and I'm squatting, and it's hilarious that
you can raise the chair.
You're looking so much bigger than I, and then it's such.
There's literally a lever on the side of the chair where you can raise it up.
Whoa! Okay.
Oh, well, thanks for doing that. I'm glad the recording didn't stop based off of that horrible, violent...
Is it still going?
Fucking bastard.
Yeah, so it's, there's going to be a lot of things, but the most important thing is if you show up, please don't just come see the vendors and leave, because at the beginning there's going to be kind of a merch swap. There's going to be several vendors. I know that Jordan Hemphill is going to be selling prints of his art. Zane, who's been on our podcast twice, he's going to be selling prints of his photography. I'll be selling
Pat's going to be having the peppers.
I got
hella
the peppers. yeah, it's going to be fun. But after that, there's going to be a few bands playing. I can't remember off the top of my head which ones.
Facing Worlds.
Giveaway
from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And is it not Cell Block anymore? Who is it?
Shit, I don't. It's not Fist Fury. It's not One in the Chamber. Maybe. Character Assassin.
Character
maybe?
Assassin. Character Assassin. Facing Worlds and Giveaway from Oklahoma. So it'll be a fun little show for that. And then, of course, there's going to be the actual live taping of an episode of Jimbo's Paradise.
Yeah.
So,
and don't forget, if you are like, oh, I've never heard of these characters.
Samantha Flowers.
The types that are like, and you're like 13, and you're like, oh, I remember going to see Pulled Under in 1919, and you claim that you're around.
Samantha Flowers.
It's a great band to come see because
it's good. It's good. It's good.
Well, I guess speaking of that event, it's going to be at Central Arts, which we recently went to go. Well, I guess I say we, meaning some members of, like, I guess that community surrounding it went to go.
yeah, not me because I'm an adult and I had a job.
Dude, that is such bullshit because I'm an adult with a job. But we went to the local city council and. Because Central Arts, and it's not just the location of Bedford, there's, different venues built around art, and I mean, I could go into it all day, the different things they've done for the community, but it's all over the place. So we actually, many of the kids that typically go to these shows and these events at Central Arts all got together on a weeknight to go to Bedford, I guess, City Council, and kind of Cedric and his dad's the one that really started all this and sunk a lot of his own finances into it.
Yeah.
And they gave this presentation together, and they just kind of showed how big of a difference Central Arts and related venues through them have made, and just kind of got some things set up and through the city, and basically it just kind of verified that they're in really good standing, and we have a lot of really good things going, or they have a lot of really good things going, and if it set them up to be able to do some cool things in the future. So
if you're ever in the Dallas area and there's a show going on at Central Arts, you should go out there. You should also, they have like art classes and stuff too, like you can sign up for. And I think they have they have a website that you can sign up for stuff on, or is it all Facebook?
But they post about it a lot on Facebook, so you'll be able to find those events on there.
Yeah, and we'll link to all the Central Arts stuff too. Here in the description of everything. So yeah, definitely check out Central Arts. Go to Jimbo's live. Pat fought really hard at this presentation at the city council of Bedford.
The thing was, like, it was actually a beautiful, well done presentation. They really liked that so many kids came out. I mean, I guess typically in like a weeknight Bedford City Hall or whatever the fuck you want to call it, there's usually like, just a couple old people in there being like, I don't know, just random issues or voting on them. And then they were saying that it was nice to see so many people in there this time. So
yeah, it's very cool. There's probably like 20 people. Maybe.
I think they said 27 people came, and I guess that would include, all adults and relatives.
I mean, that's pretty dope for a small town, city council meeting. That's pretty dope.
A small town giddy up.
Small town giddy up. But I thought it was really funny because, I'm the observer of the two of us. Pat is the interactor on social media, and I'm the observer, and so I'm like observing all of the pictures and everything from that night. And somebody had posted like a picture of everybody, and it was like, I'm trying to remember the caption, because the caption was like something about like a diverse group of people showed up, and I really just wanted to be like, yeah, it's a bunch of fucking 20-somethings in Gulch hoodies that showed up.
Dude, somebody posted, and it was like, those open for a surprise pictures where it's like you don't see what's wrong with it, and then you click it, and someone was like, they posted that Gulch Sanrio hoodie, and they were like, brand new Gulch Sanrio hoodie, but the size never worn, and all you see is the logo in the frame on the picture, and you click it, and then there's just cum all over it, and I was just like, oh my, and then I guess they've been lately pairing it with like, there's like these poofy like hype beast shoes that are made to look like they're covered in jizz as well, and I was just like, oh my god, dude, the internet's a horrible place, and I have not quite gotten there yet. We'll see where we're at in a couple years, but No cum on my timeline as of right now.
Of course, the Gulch hoodie thing is a very targeted meme, so if you don't understand the Gulch hoodie thing, that's fine.
Oh, okay. So there's a couple things I guess we can do. I mean, we can show the Gulch hoodie on the screen, but also, I MS Paint edited a version of that where I like edited all the letters, and it was like at Scented Gladbag on Twitter's Little Dumplings, and it was just badly edited that font all over the hoodie.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. That happened recently, and man, yeah, you've been pretty active on Twitter since the official hiatus kind of started for us. Like,
I've needed somewhere to just spew some bullshit.
it's like Twitter and then the Facebook group, which if you want to learn all about the Facebook group, we made a whole episode. It was the last episode that we recorded with Zane on, and we talk about this shitty Facebook group that Pat has become the king of. And he just controls his dominion of stupid fucking jokes.
Yet again, you give me way too much credit because it's definitely like very much Olin and Zane's place, and it's that shitty group that they started and just became a thing. And we've now beat out the actual hardcore page. And members,
which is just ridiculous.
And like, dude, we're like post approvaling people. We're just like, someone's post anything, we're like, you know what, let's kick them out. Like, it's just so fucking stupid and douchey, and it's a great time.
And that's why I'm an observer and I don't participate.
We'll make sure to do probably a separate side video that's attached to this, but we'll do a state of the fake Linc's World address at some point.
Yeah, that's got to be a solo Pat. Like, we'll get him a suit or something, or I'll superimpose a suit onto you.
I guess speaking of which, because we're kind of talking about, we called a hiatus. It wasn't really on purpose. I know that you had been working really hard because, like, again, to give you all the credit, you do, like, all the work on this shit.
I do.
I just show up and bullshit, and I should help more. But we had kind of just had a point where we took a little bit of a break for a while, not even intentionally, and we're getting back into it. But I guess I don't really... I mean, you and I have seen each other several times since, but has anything major changed?
Anything interesting? I mean, well,
we can call this major pains, major things that have changed.
Major pains,
major
things that have changed. Okay. Well, we did get a camera. There's like an actual camera so that we can both be on our phones at the same time. So now we can be disrespectful.
Hold on, we're about to fire off a live tweet.
Yeah, we'll both tweet. We're gonna have one tweet come from at Scented Gladbag, one tweet come from the Pod Pathetic.
What should I say?
I'm gonna do hashtag Unscented Gladbag.
I'm gonna write the podcast tweet.
Hashtag Unscented Gladbag at Scented Gladbag.
The podcast Twitter
tweet
is about to tweet.
It's already too late. I already tweeted it.
No.
The tweet is out.
A friend of mine, Garrick, used to say something when he didn't want to hear what was being said. And if someone was like, dude, well, you can't really, he would just go, shut up. And if you fire enough shut ups at somebody, you can't, it's an impenetrable wall of shut ups.
But in reality,
shut up,
you can just power through the shut ups. Just get through it.
If you ever tell me something that I don't want to hear, I'm going to fire off a thick, like, concrete, reinforced wall of shut ups, and
you're everything that I say on this podcast,
shut up. See? Oh, dude, you're getting the fucking shut up turrets fired up.
Yeah, there's like
shut up.
The shut up minigun.
Shut up.
We need one of those like crank miniguns.
Oh, you wanted to tell me something? Shut up. All right, hang on 1 second. Tweet Unscented Glad Bag. Please, I'm begging you.
Unfollow at Scented Gladbag.
No, why would I say that? Do not like or ought like or retweet it.
I hope everybody who's watching or listening really enjoys the fact that we just tweeted on y'all during an episode of the podcast.
It was extremely disrespectful, and I really don't give a fuck.
I'm just happy that we can both tweet at the same time now.
Literally, dude, you can see how pale and shiny and oily I am. I took it... Skin oil check. I bet you I'm shiny already. Yup, a little bit shiny, and I took a shower an hour ago.
I'm going to turn the saturation down by like 45 like points.
You can't colorize me green first and just make me a part of the back. You know what? I want to be like Nick Jr. Do you remember Face, that creepy ass?
Yeah, of
dude,
course.
I want to be Face, where it's just, or like what's the Power Ranger like leader guy?
Zordon.
Or Zordon, where I'm just in the background like Rangers. Let's.
Zordon the floating head. Played by Bryan Cranston in that Power Rangers remake. Did you see that?
No, I didn't realize it was Bryan Cranston. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It was like, it was Bryan Cranston was Zordon, and then what's her face was Rita Repulsa. God, what's her name? Elizabeth Banks was like a weird Rita Repulsa.
She'd be perfect for that. I didn't watch that movie. I think I went out of my way not to watch that movie.
I watched it when it came out. I need to rewatch it because I remember just being very intimidated by the whole thing. Just like, I don't know what's happening right now.
So also, this time I didn't bring canned seltzer waters or Dr. Peppers. So I got something new for the microphone today, which is,
Some glass topos.
good, yes. Not very loud.
Yeah, not loud. It's not really fizzing at all.
Hold on, let me just...
Yeah, take a chug.
Nice.
There you go.
No, not that loud.
It was okay. That was a good choice. Is the glass topos.
Oh, God, what a shitty fucking 30 seconds on the podcast.
Isn't that that's our thing though, right? That's our shtick.
Something else that's changed is that although I still will continue to joke on long scallop t-shirts, been wearing them.
Right.
First of all, they covered the beer gut hangoutage. They're long enough for my long body, so they really just look like regular scallop t-shirts on me. If you're wearing one, I'm gonna assume that you are a huge fan of the Stay Sick.
Wait, are we a long
Artist
t-shirt
roster?
podcast now?
We are now in the Venn diagram of things that are very long t-shirt. We're in there, but we're in a weird spot. We're in our own circle on the side because we don't really associate with anything that has to. Well, we associate with, but we don't like play
We're
the
not
music.
connected. We're not as good as anything else that's associated with long t-shirt music. So
Yeah, but I'm still gonna wear long. Also, dude, they're like $6 because nobody wants them.
like at Walmart.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, I need to make a Walmart run.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude. Literally, I wore one bought one at first to be funny, and I sent a picture to Garrett, and then I bought it, and then I've been wearing it every day. So,
Milad.
no, I feel I know him as Gary or Garrett so much that I hope that you're patient with me, dude, because it's going to take me a little bit to not automatically fire that off. But I think it's pronounced Milad. Well, either way, he's going to be coming back at some point. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, yeah, our little buddy. But yeah, what else? I'm trying to think of anything else interesting. I went and saw. So yesterday was Valentine's Day. Shout out to all the Valentine's people.
Shouts out Valentine's Day. Shouts out a good fucking after a plate of Cheddar's chicken strips, dog.
Is that what you did?
No, not at all.
I'm pretty sure your Valentine's was just y'all playing video games in separate rooms.
We and this has nothing to do with One Crab Leg on Instagram. Follow One Crab Leg on Instagram. But my wife really wanted to make crab legs, which I fucking hate crab legs because it is so much work, and you typically get injured by the 17 tools you have to use or the sharp ass exoskeleton.
Yeah.
So we made a fuckload of crab legs and just like, dude, I legitimately suffered injuries and
Devastating.
And that's what we did. And then everyone just kind of went to sleep.
That's cute. Did you like swap gifts and everything, traditional style?
Oh, dude, I did a good job this time.
Did you?
I after she went to sleep, I decorated the living room.
That's so cute,
Dude, it was
That's
so
the cutest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
So adorable. But the thing was, I was like, my dad always got my mom those extremely make you gag level sweet, like lovey dovey cards from my mom. And even when I was like 9, I was like, yo, Dad, what the fuck? Like, so I found a Hot Wheels card that was actually a birthday card for a young boy, and just got that for her as a Valentine's card. Like, it was like, hope you have, I think it said something like, hope you have like a ripping like hot birthday or something, just like Happy Valentine's Day.
That's cute. Yeah, we did the whole we swapped. I gave her some flowers and some candy. She got me some candy, and what else? We went and saw Birds of Prey last night, which that was an experience.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
So I know that you were talking about how it was kind of an experience, but what did you actually think of it? Because I know the difference between you and me is that you're much more of a, and I say this sparingly and lovingly, but you are much more of a weeb-ass nerd who knows the lore behind literally anything. Not saying I'm not a nerd, but I know that you're going to have a lot more, I guess, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a hot take, but you're going to have a lot more observations when it comes to anything action movie-esque.
Not an action movie, but
Well,
at least
you know what I mean.
Comic book movie. Yeah, I mean it was okay. As far as the movie goes itself, it wasn't terrible. It was
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
it was long, I guess, to me.
Was it that long of a movie, or was it just hard to sit through?
Yeah, so my issue was I kind of lost interest in it pretty quickly, and I think part of the issue is that I'm not the target audience for that movie at all.
So what do you mean? Like, what is the target audience of that movie? Because I know you mentioned this a little bit earlier before we got on here, and you were saying that it's like not made for children, but it's rated R, and it seems like it's...
Yeah, it's very like who I would consider the target audience to be is like preteen girls. Like that's who I would see this movie being made for. At least that's what the impression that I got, right? Like the impression was that these, the writers or whatever were like, yeah, let's make a movie that's going to be very, targeted towards, like, I think it was like it's almost like a way to get... It seemed like a way to get teenage girls into comics or something, or like into the comic book genre, maybe into DC or whatever. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the comics do that too. The comics and other mediums do that too, where they try to like make it like insert it in a way to make it like more accessible, I guess, for girls. Because like, of course, traditionally comics were always like a stereotypical like boy thing.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the Joe Rogan podcast here, man. No, like I see what you're saying, and I like something that I had kind of briefly touched on earlier is the fact that like my first, like, and for the sake of discussion, I'll do like the devil's advocate type of thing, and I wanted to be like, well, maybe they were trying to make a movie that was more mass appeal, that they have to consider a mass audience and not just the people that know the comic books, but some of their like smash hit comic book movies really did appeal to the lore, for lack of a better term.
Right, and I can't say that I thought that this movie seemed to target a mass appeal. Maybe it did, and I'm just not like connected that well with the audience at large. But I personally, I didn't feel like it was a mass appeal movie, and I think part of it was the writing, and part of it was the weird dynamic of seeming like it was targeting a younger audience, but it was an R-rated movie, and I think that's really what the main thing for me is that I don't really understand, like, if you're gonna go ahead and just make an R-rated movie, why don't you make it like an R-rated movie?
Well,
you know what I mean?
I mean, they're definitely going for the Deadpool audience for sure, because like you were saying, like they're like, oh yeah, comic book character that says shit, and everyone's like, no, dude.
Right? Yeah, and I think like it worked differently in Deadpool, in my opinion, because I don't know, I can't really narrow it down as to like what the actual issue with it was. I mean,
well, you had some issues with the modern DC movies as a whole,
right? And that's a lot of it is my my pre-existing bias, because like the DC that I grew up with is like dark DC. You know, when I was a kid, one of my favorite shows was Batman the Animated Series, which for a kid's show is really fucking dark.
Dude, that's why we're all fucked up, because they had shit like that.
Right. And like even when I got a little bit older, the Justice League animated series, that came out in like the mid 2000s, and that was still, it was not quite as dark as Batman the Animated Series in my opinion, but it was still on the darker side.
Same art style too.
Same art style, a little bit darker themes, not quite as goofy, campy, not quite as joke centric. And even the comics that I really liked, even as like a young, like a teenager and stuff like that.
As a young thug?
As a young thug. Because I remember when I was really, really heavily going to comic book stores and like actually into comics, the series that was popular at the time, or that was actively coming out, was it's a series called Blackest Night, which Blackest Night is like, it's literally about, like, it's a Green Lantern sub story, but basically like this dude is like resurrecting dead superheroes, and like the dead superheroes are beating up the alive superheroes.
That's badass.
And it's very dark and gritty, and like Batman's parents get resurrected as these things that are beating up Batman.
So it's like an existential, like my dead parents are whooping my ass type.
Yeah, it's real dark and like just real gritty, and like I'm not saying that the tone is misdirected, because I understand what the tone they're going for, and I'm guessing this is all David Ayer, I believe, is the producer of like Suicide Squad and this Birds of Prey. I think he's like kind of part of the planning committee for that, I guess. But I feel like the tone is like they were going for a Guardians of the Galaxy / Deadpool type tone, when I personally think they should be going for their own tone. You know what I mean? I feel like, personally, what I would prefer to see out of DC movies in general is like a darker tone. And I'm not trying to like be like, oh, Joker's a better movie or whatever, but like Joker's tone is, in my opinion, is the tone that I would like to see in those type of movies.
Well, it was its own thing, and like obviously that was trying to like mash up some demographics, and unfortunately whenever you mash up demographics, you oftentimes get something that's extremely fucking juggalo.
Yeah.
And like and sorry, state of Oklahoma, but Oklahoma as fuck. And there's probably a few people in every audience watching those that have like some really shitty tattoos, and I mean, not
sure.
saying I don't, but there's something about that like almost like, just someone in a bucktooth corn-fed smile wearing a fucking like a Daddy's Little, what is it?
Daddy's Little Monster.
Daddy's Little Monster shirt. Dude,
Yeah.
would have been a great opportunity for me to wear an extremely tight Daddy's Little Monster shirt, but
yeah, like I think part of the biggest issue for me was my preconceived bias or whatever on stories beforehand, because all the characters that are in the movie, I like them so much more in other mediums. Like Black Canary has so many other better variations, in my opinion, because like in this movie, like, and that's the thing too, is this movie is a Harley Quinn movie. Like, don't get it twisted, it's not really a Birds of Prey movie, it's a Harley Quinn movie. But like, when you just jam characters into a movie without really giving them any type of background, not even just background, but any type of character development at all, like these major massive characters that have these super huge backstories basically get nothing, and they're just kind of dumped into it. I mean, even to go as far as like the villains and stuff, like Black Mask, who's played by Ewan McGregor in the movie, and Ewan McGregor's performance was fine, but in my opinion, that Black Mask is not Black Mask to me. That's Harley Quinn's adversary in this movie. You know what I mean? Like he didn't play who I would what I would think of as a Black Mask type character. Same thing with like Victor Zsasz is the other. Actually, I probably had a bigger problem with Victor Zsasz than anybody else in the movie, because in my mind, once again, this is all preconceived, reading comics forever and being into that stuff for a long time. Victor Zsasz plays like Black Mask's goon in this. He's like kind of the right hand man kind of character, but in everything else that I've ever seen him be in, he's like a crazy serial killer who just does stuff by himself. He's not really like connected to anybody else. Whenever
you cut out or reduce the role of a character that's critical to, I guess critical to a certain other character making sense, then at that point you realize that, that character's there to say they're there, but it's not really I don't think the movies like that, although they should be, I feel like movies like that are just kind of like, they're not really about trying to please the story. I think they're about, movies like that are something casual to watch, especially if you're from Oklahoma and you're a juggalo in Oklahoma. But they're really just something to watch. But as someone, and you can't help this, but as somebody that already knows this stuff, it's going to be harder for you to digest.
But I think that's the big miss, though, is that like you use this name recognition, right? Because like Victor Zsasz, the people who would know who Victor Zsasz is are not going to appreciate Victor Zsasz in this movie. So you could have made that character be anybody. You could have made him be General Goon, A or whatever, like just some random person. But instead, because you think the name recognition is going to do anything for you, you're going to take this character and put him in there when really they could have been replaced with anybody else. And I think, that's a big part of it. And like, once again, it's just a matter of, I see things a certain way, so that movie is just not targeted to me, and I wouldn't say it's very targeted to traditional comic book fans. But if that's the case, then that's fine. If that's not who they're targeting, I'm not going to trip about it. It's just like, am I going to sit here and say that I fucking love the movie? No, not at all. Because I was so disconnected with it from basically minute one, just due to that fact, let alone the story itself. I don't dislike the story necessarily, but it was. Did you see Deadpool 2? Yeah. It was Deadpool 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was group of characters getting together to protect Kid. Yeah, so the purpose in that case is different, but I think too, a word you used earlier that I've never used. I think you said what trope is the word. Oh yeah. So that ties into what you're saying with Ewan McGregor, and that if you take away something that makes the character their signature character and makes them contribute to a greater story or someone else's story, then you could literally just have that. You could have it be like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and it really wouldn't matter. Right. And this was a conversation Pat and I were having earlier, where I was saying that one of the issues is the characters, traditional tropes kind of go away, which they're. Trope is, I don't know if trope's the right word, but their thing, their brand, whatever you want to call it. Because to me, Black Mask, his whole story arc doesn't really make sense to have him in the movie at all, because he's just basically playing generic general bad guy, as opposed to the Black Mask that I'm familiar with. His whole thing is that he's like the angriest character in Batman. He's probably the angriest Batman rogues gallery member, and he comes off really goofy in the movie, and I didn't really get that. And also, he doesn't wear the fucking mask except for the very end of the movie. His fucking name is. But they did the same thing with Deadshot and Suicide Squad. They got Will Smith to be this major character that wears a mask all the time, and they're not gonna not show fucking Will Smith's face, but at the same time, his identifying feature in the comics is his fucking mask. So that's. I guess and I feel like a lot of people have issues with that. Is you're taking these existing characters and kind of turning them into, I don't know, just generic action star type things. Maybe I don't know. I'm not as well versed in Hollywood as I would like to be, I guess. But as someone with a marketing brain, there's parts of you that we both know what's going on there. But, for sure, and that's why it bugs me so much too, is because with stuff like Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, I can't identify who it's mass targeted to, because the whole point of these movies, with the Marvel movies, I feel like the Marvel movies are very well marketed. They're very well targeted, because it's not necessarily for little kids, but it's not necessarily for grown-ups. Yeah. It's right in that good line, and it's not really targeted to any one demographic. Traditional comic book nerds can enjoy a Marvel movie and not get upset about it, as at the same time Joe Schmo off the street can also enjoy a Marvel movie. And I think DC hasn't quite grasped that yet. And it's not just Birds of Prey, it's all the DC movies that have come out recently. They don't, for some reason, they can't get that. Anywho, I enjoyed, I enjoyed the performances. I don't think you hated. Yeah, I enjoyed the ass whooping. The ass whooping was fun. The set design was really cool. There's a lot of really cool sets. I think they put a lot of the effort into the set design and stuff like that. I think Margot Robbie's obviously, she's great. Ewan McGregor was good. The Kid was good. I like Rosie Perez a lot. Although, in a lot of it, Rosie Perez is playing Rosie Perez, so so you can't get away from that. But that was my shitty take on Birds of Prey. I'm not going to go too much more in depth into it because I feel like we spent way too much time on it already.
It doesn't matter because we literally spend so much time on so much other bullshit. Like I've been thinking about, I was thinking about a new DC villain to propose, and because I've been talking in a pirate voice lately. Like, am I like, instead of saying I've been saying me. So like, I got to go to me friend's house or something.
So the Skittleberg was.
So exactly, yes. I would like to propose a new DC villain. He's a pirate, speaks in a pirate voice, and he's called the Skittleberg Whistler. Doesn't necessarily whistle, if we're gonna get into tropes here, but he is he's such a fucking pirate. And
wait, do we need to explain? We need to explain the backstory of Skittleberg Whistler is back in our younger days of getting intoxicated frequently and being young kids. One of the things that we would actively say on a daily basis, not even intoxicated, just in general to make ourselves laugh, is few have lived to tell the tale of the Skittleberg Whistler.
But it's like, few have lived to tell the tale of the Skittleberg Whistler.
And you would get progressively, adding more A's into Skittleberg, which is a U.
And so I think, DC, if you're listening to this, you can just shoot me a message on @ScentedGladbag on Twitter, the only local government officiated Twitter account. And you can just say, hey, we can use it. I'm like, dude, royalty free. You can have it. Pirate villain. It's pirate time. Pirates are cool as fuck right now. The Skittleberg Whistler and all the other characters that are warning them. Yeah. Oh, dude. You can have his other pirate people are like, few have lived to tell the tale of the Skittleberg Whistler. Bark. Yar. Yar. Yar.
Yeah, so imagine a bunch of fucking 21-year-olds running around screaming that shit constantly.
Just got cool little skeleton beads in his hair. One other thing that I wanted to discuss, and this is not a hard take about hardcore or the hardcore scene or anything, because I'm more adjacent to it and just friends with people in it, and of course I'll go to shows and be involved with some of that, but
also fuck y'all.
But also no, it's not. And also, it's not like I have some long-standing history. I've just been friends with the people. And so I was noticing every year that LDB Festival, which is a hardcore festival in, I think, Louisville, Kentucky.
Which I had never heard of until, 2 weeks ago.
Well, I don't know how many years they've been doing it, but last year, just Twitter, every post I saw on Twitter was about it. And so this year I knew it was going to be even more of a thing. And, first of all, Cedric's little brother called it Lyndon B. Johnson Festival, which I sat on my phone and nose exhale laughed at that. But I knew that with it, the more you post something on Twitter, especially in hardcore Twitter, and I hate as someone who's weirdly aware of hardcore Twitter because that's mostly who I interact with on there. A lot of things, when tweeted about a lot, tend to become a hardcore Twitter meetup. So I noticed lots of shoulder bags, etc. And I was realizing that first of all, not only was it a hardcore Twitter meetup, and not saying people weren't there for the music. I love a ton of the bands that played on there. Our friend Hunter's band played, but fuck you, dude. I see you jiggling your fucking face over there. But I just noticed that if you could only mic up the audience and somehow EQ out the band playing, you would hear so many shoulder bags flopping around. Dude, just dude, okay, hey, this is what it's. I'm gonna use this as a cut from me for the podcast Twitter. This is what the audience at LDB Festival sounds like during the mosh pit, and I'll tell you what it is after. If you could mic up just the people and cut out the band sounds, EQ out the bands, you would hear. And want to know what that is? That's the sound of a bunch of shoulder bags flopping around. But it's funny because like you could make every 2020 like hardcore fashion starter pack, and it would be, you could find all of those there. I know I saw like a long time ago, I think in like 2015, I made a hardcore fashion starter pack, and one of them was like a blistered shirt over a hoodie. But like things have changed, my friends, and
It's all Gulch hoodies now.
yeah, it's all Gulch. It's all Sanrio Gulch hoodies that they stocked the band at the airport to acquire and made them open up their luggage to buy. But one thing that was and our friend Lincoln, he actually filled in for drums for Fuming Mouth, so he was there. A bunch of our friends there. Dude, Alvin is like an LDB celebrity. Like
Yeah, I saw that.
But Alvin is also a weirdly like an extremely like well-known person. Like I mean, Rihanna tweeted him one time. Like Rihanna the pop star tweeted our friend Alvin. There's always videos of him, just like viral videos and pictures of him just destroying people in the pit and stuff. It's just really funny, but. One thing that made me laugh really hard is Knocked Loose played a surprise set there. Because they're from there and everything, and they're all closely affiliated with the hardcore scene there, and just all over actually. And their brothers all, interact with the scene or Brian Garris there, and the other two brothers, they all interact. And so somebody had an air horn there, and during all the notable parts, they were doing the air horn rhythmically to the song. So like there's a song called Counting Worms they do, where he does like he barks twice, he goes arf arf in the song, and somebody in the audience did like let that part. And the funniest shit is that cut through all guitars, all moshing, all cymbals, everything. That's all you could hear. And then there was another part was this just really cool moment because the audience was going crazy. It was Brian Garris from Knocked Loose and his two brothers all doing the vocals to a song together. But it had like a very signature chug pattern, and the song was like dun 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 dun. But all you could hear was it's just people moshing so hard in their horn.
That's some you type of shit.
Oh, dude, I would have been. Dude, there's been things that if I had witnessed in person, I would just be on, like, call the ambulance because I'm on the floor vomiting with laughter because that's just the dumbest shit ever. But it's not me calling LDB Festival dumb at all. I think, dude, if somebody was like, I'll pay your way, I would go in it fucking instant. And there was a lot of, like, there's a band that I've been listening to a lot. Called Reign of Salvation that's really good that played. Their drummer actually has been playing and touring with See Space Cowboy. I don't know if he's their actual drummer now or not, but I would go. I'm not hating on that or hardcore festivals, but there's an undeniable aspect of just hardcore Twitter tends to make itself, and I'm sure that I'm looped into this category just from being adjacent, but hardcore Twitter tends to be extremely obvious. Like if you're looking in a room, you can be like, the hardcore Twitter members are here. And it's funny.
And it's all just you standing shirtless on the back of the stage with your arms down.
Oh, dude, that
like
was
this.
metalcore Twitter, dog. I don't think hardcore Twitter would be so anti the joke. There's literally Andrew, who we've had on the show before. One of their music videos that they put out, he plays in a band called I Am. They're in Europe right now, but they when a few years back they had a music video they filmed in Denton, and like this is probably a very Adderall-fueled thing at the time.
I cut the clip into the episode of the podcast.
Oh, where I'm just shirtless and the music was horrible. Dude, I watch that every time that video comes up and people post it, I'm like, fuck, I hope people don't realize that's me, which they do, that are our friends. I mean, not like people that don't know.
It's a good 15 seconds of just you shirtless. Yeah.
And in a 3-minute song, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't even remember where I was going with that, but there are things that
Lyndon Bang Johnson Fest.
If you went to Lyndon B. Johnson Festival, then then you'll see these things. I mean, even hardcore Twitter jokes about it. They're pretty self-aware, but it's just that was just kind of a silly Billy thing that I noticed.
You're a silly Billy guy.
Silly Billy things for a silly Billy guy, and that's what we do. We have a silly Billy, silly goose time on the podcast.
Except for when we're talking about serious things, like when I'm crying about my life or complaining about shitty movies that I went and watched recently.
Dude, I've had to be extremely stopping myself from being hypocritical because of some of the things we say here that I'll actually believe, but I don't realize how oftentimes that I don't apply to them, like the separating the artist from the art thing. after the TK thing, I've realized how often that, like after our conversation about that, I've realized how often that I'm so quick to be like, yeah, but fuck that, it's a song. And I have a much harder time with that than I thought I was going to have, especially not saying that wasn't my stance.
I fucked you up, dog.
You fucked me up, and it's not because I don't have that stance or I was making shit up where I'm just being a hypocrite in general, but I realize how often that I would be, not relative is not the word. Well, what's the word like when selective? I try not to be, but I end up being selective with it because just like we said on there, when you're removed from the situation, it's different. So I've been trying to, I don't know, be more accountable for that shit. But
yeah,
speaking of being sad on the podcast, because we've had a couple times where it gets a little bit serious and a little dark
Dude, I can't help myself. I literally cannot help myself from getting like serious or like taking things in that direction of being sad or whatever. It's my nature to go that route. I'm just a sad fella. I'm just a little e-boy. I'm just a little e-boy.
A pathetic podcast, just a couple of what was the thing that I said? I was gonna a pathetic podcast, just a couple of e-boys chatting it up.
That's us. We need to get dangly earrings. I could put dangly earrings in still, I think. I still have they're not all the way closed up in my ears.
You could probably do. I can maybe jam a nose ring into the hole in my nose and just paint that out. Well, I think we could be e-boys. We'd have to get different haircuts.
Oh, no, dude, my hair is long right now.
We'd have to get a TikTok. Yeah, your hair is getting kind of long.
I'm hiding it at the moment, but my hair is very hold on, let me floof out the hair real quick. Let me see if it'll floof out. It's pretty long at the moment.
Yeah, so that's dude, that is so e-boy.
E-boy life.
Hold on, what was that thing they were doing where they were like roll their
the thing or whatever.
Hold on.
Yes, Daddy.
E-boy. Which, I mean, also, dude, speaking of hardcore Twitter and Venn diagrams, like, there is a big hardcore Twitter e-boy, e-girl Venn diagram going on right there. Like, there's a lot of...
It's because we're all e-boys inside.
Yeah, inside we're all e-boys. And
here's the thing. If you listen or watch this podcast, the only thing that I want you to take away from enjoying this format here is that really, when it comes down to it, everything that we talk shit about, we already are.
We are.
We absolutely are already that thing.
I mean, great example. I'm wearing a long scalloped t-shirt right now. And as soon as I leave here, I'll slap on a shoulder bag. Just kidding. I'm not wearing a shoulder bag ever. I did see a guy at Parks Mall that I guess wanted to follow the shoulder bag fad, but all he had was a fanny pack from when he was like 9, and it was so funny.
Fanny packs are tight though.
No, nothing. Much like we're an Eckerd's family that doesn't fuck with CVS, we are a fanny pack family that doesn't fuck with shoulder bags. But this guy, it was a tiny fanny pack, obviously from when he was like 9 years old, that he strapped around his arm, and it was just up his armpit and around his neck. Like, he basically hung himself with this tiny little fanny pack. And I'm just like, dude, like...
That's the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life, is what you were saying.
Honestly, I was like, you look so dope, dude. And I was like... God damn it.
We are a fanny pack family, though. Honestly, I mean, I'm gonna get really upset if anybody talks shit about fanny packs.
No, dude, I fuck with fanny packs. So convenient. Shoulder bags.
We like fanny packs, shoulder bags. We like t-shirts over hoodies. That's really big.
And long scalloped t-shirts under that t-shirt over a hoodie. So
right.
3 layers total.
The middle part. We're middle part fans.
Middle part guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Nose rings, dangly earrings.
Dangly jewelry, rings in general, like skeleton skull rings, badass
skull
as
rings.
fuck.
Yep, love that shit.
I started jokingly saying badass as like 2 separate words a lot, and now it's kind of like when you start saying bro. Ironically, you can't stop saying it. Now I've been saying badass to everything.
Bad the fuck ass.
Bad the fuck ass as fuck, dude. Things can either be fucked the fuck up as fuck, or bad the fuck ass as fuck.
I like it. I mean, it's very fitting for you. Like, I don't know if you ever realize that whenever you latch onto things, it's because it fits you so well. Like screaming stupid things frequently, that fits you really well. Saying bad the fuck ass, or
fuck the fuck up as fuck. Fucked the fuck up as fuck. And bad the fuck ass as fuck.
Yeah, that just fits you as a person.
That's not a good thing. That's not a redeeming quality. That's annoying as shit.
No, you're beautiful on the inside. Look at you.
Thank you. And when we say me and we say I, we're talking about at Scented Gladbag on Twitter. The only city council discussed Twitter.
Hashtag unscented Gladbag.
Nah.
Canceled.
Shut up, 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 shut up,
Canceled. This is the best part of the podcast we've ever done.
See what happens when you put up that impenetrable steel reinforced 3 feet of concrete reinforced, and then behind that just bags of dirt reinforced trench protected wall of shut ups. You can get through anything in life.
All right, are you good?
Yeah, I think I'm good. Anyway, I mean, make sure to come out to Jimbo's Paradise Live on March 14th at Central Arts Bedford. I'll be slinging sauces. There's going to be
stay the whole time.
Stay the whole time because there's 3 separate things. There's the buy and trade. There's the watch a live band and mosh while your shoulder pack flops around. And then there's going to be afterwards a live filming. Please stay.
And we will be shooting video. There will be bits that you can be involved in.
So if you want to be a part of the Apathetic podcast universe, just show up, and
which is a subsidiary of the Jimbo's Paradise Extended Universe.
So you will be part of that, and then if you want to join hardcore Twitter, man, if you want to get involved in this cesspool,
we're bringing you into the fold officially.
Bringing you into the fold. So also. God, I don't even know what Fake Linc's World is called right now, but
it's gotten like 12 names since then. So
we'll put a link to Fake Linc's World, Facebook's most popular and favorite hardcore / shit posting Facebook group.
If I can give you some advice, be an observer. Just be an observer.
Be an observer because sometimes the admins, including myself, will put you on post approval because.
Anyway, thanks for watching, listening, whatever you're doing right now. You could follow us on Twitter at PodPathetic. You could see the tweet that we tweeted during this episode.
Can we give a quick update on that, by the way?
A quick update on the tweet?
A quick update on the tweet?
I'm pretty sure the actual tweet that I put has got nothing. So.
Oh, no. Fucking Owen retweeted it.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, dude. Whitney posted the card that I got her, and I'll send you the picture. It says, hit the gas, have a blast. And that's
dope. Anyway.
So the tweet that you tweeted that said, hashtag unscented Gladbag, at Scented Gladbag, of course, was liked and tweeted by only Owen. Who fucking cares at all? And then let's talk about mine here. Let's see.
Hopefully it's got nothing.
Oh, would you look at that? 4 likes and so. Dude, you're not. Dude, I guess I'm part of this.
Stop feeding in. Look at what you're doing, Twitter. Look at what you have made.
No. Shut up. I did it. At Scented Gladbag Army's Lil Dumplings and the Pat Demons, the at Scented Gladbag on Twitter Army, strongest army on Twitter, most popular Twitter account in the history of Twitter. Follow at Scented Gladbag on Twitter.com to continue this because in such a short period of time, only Owen paid attention to you. And what's funny is that was just to spite me, and I am at Scented Gladbag on Twitter.com. Follow at Scented Gladbag on Twitter.com. At Scented Gladbag on Twitter.com. Army, strongest army on Twitter.
Shut up.